What is up, my bent floppers? Last week I was a little busy, so this video came out a little bit late. Those of you who know. Anyways, nothing really interesting has happened, but I found this beautiful cave and I wanted to share. As I was recording this, I was watching an analog horror, Arcadia for those of you who are interested, and combined with my pitch black room and the fear of starting my world over from day one, I was horrified. It really got me to reminisce about the old days, where you'd hear something and have no idea what it was. You'd hear these stories about Herobrine, which seemed just plausible enough to work, and you'd inevitably be jump scared by some cave sounds. Minecraft really was the Wild West back in the day, and no one knew its inner workings. Obviously, we've all since grown up, but it was also the rise of the internet. These days, we know every little thing about the games we play. Hobbyist developers and mod creators are everywhere, practically begging us to ask them how any game works. Sure, they've been around for nearly as long as the internet itself, but now everyone has a Reddit account, or watches YouTube videos about every little nuance. There is no code left unaccounted for, lest we install malware. The childlike fear is just a little bit harder to pull out in the modern gaming space. Aside from the knowledge of there being nothing to fear, we also have the skill to avoid any and all threats. Think back to your first experience playing Minecraft. For me, it was my mom's ancient laptop. I'd be lucky to get 15 FPS on it. If there was anything to fear, I would have had no way to defend myself. The delayed input simply wouldn't allow me to react in time. I was at the mercy of the game, and I honestly had no idea what was in store for me. A big part of fear is control. Minecraft is a very easy game. There are very few threats, and everyone knows that. I mean, think about the Pale Garden, for example. They added the creaking, a weeping angel type mob that kills you if you look away from it, and you could literally just dig a 1x2 meter hole in the ground and it won't do anything to stop you. A lot of beta purists will tell you horror is another aspect of the game beta does better, and to an extent I agree. Beta was plenty darker, there were considerably less mobs, and the world just seemed lonelier. The render distance was horrid. You couldn't see something like a house lengths away from you in some cases. You'd often see mobs skirting in and out of render, causing mild confusion and tension. And of course, the big smoking gun for some people, there was no sprinting, meaning quote unquote, you couldn't run away from your problems. And I don't mean to be that guy, but sprinting was not this game-breaking mechanic that purists pretend it was. Sprinting is kind of overrated. Aggro range for hostile mobs is exceedingly forgiving, especially in early versions. You have to actively try to make them even look at you. I'd argue that the game is even significantly harder the way it is right now. AI is significantly improved. Mobs will actually sprint at you if you try to run away. Skeletons can aim now, which they obviously couldn't back then. And you have to time attacks. Local difficulty makes it progressively harder, like the far longer you stay in an area. Like if you've ever seen zombies, they'll start out with nothing, then they'll have iron armor, and then eventually they get like enchanted iron. I think sometimes they get diamond, but I've never made a world last that long, so I wouldn't really know. Shields, armor, and regen, they're busted, sure. And villages, bees, traders, and things like that make the game more welcoming too. But overall, I don't think beta is just objectively better than modern when it comes to horror. I think it's really just people getting better at the game, if I'm being honest. And that brings me back to that challenge I'm doing. Sorry, if you're a new viewer, I play hardcore without shields, armor, or beds because I find those features boring and they ruin my personal enjoyment of the game. Taking OP armor out of the equation, even small amounts of mobs are extremely dangerous. and adds a new layer of strategy that I don't regularly get to enjoy. You have to be significantly more engaged with what you're doing, and that leaves you in a really vulnerable state when you're like caving or something. Like if you've ever played Repo or Lethal or really any horror game, you should know how it feels when you have to stay in one spot doing something like mining or picking something up, and it's slowly going down while you can't move or even look around, knowing fully well that something can just jump you from behind and kill you without a second's notice. I truly believe that the game is what you make it, and I recommend giving some self-imposed challenges like this a try. Maybe if you like the eerie atmosphere of beta Minecraft, you could turn down the render distance. Or maybe you could play like me, no armor, no shields, no beds. Anyways, I really don't have that much more to say, so I'll leave you with some close calls I had in this cave, and I'll be on my way. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good week.